She warned them to stay away, but they didn't listen. So, she made sure they'd never try it again. Tasha Williams had worked hard for everything she owned. At 42, she was proud of her home, a gorgeous 2-story house in Chandler, Arizona, with a backyard that was her personal sanctuary. Palm trees lined the fence, and right in the center of it all, her pride and joy, a crystal-clear, perfectly maintained pool. Tasha wasn't the type to boast, but she had every reason to be proud. She bought that house all on her own, no handouts, no shortcuts. Just years of grinding, saving, and making smart moves. The neighborhood was mostly families, a mix of longtime residents and newer homeowners. Some were friendly, others kept to themselves. Tasha? She didn't mind either way. She wasn't looking to be the community favorite. She just wanted to live in peace. But that peace? It didn't last. The first time it happened, she brushed it off. One Saturday afternoon, she came home from running errands and noticed something odd, wet footprints trailing from her backyard gate to the sidewalk. At first, she figured maybe it was the landscaper or a utility worker. But then she saw it, a dripping wet towel carelessly thrown over her fence. She checked the pool. The water level? Lower. Her pool float? Moved. And on her lounge chair? A half-empty soda can. Someone had been in her yard. Tasha took a deep breath, trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe some kid hopped the fence and panicked when they got caught. But when she asked around, all she got were casual shrugs. "Oh, it's probably just one of the kids," a neighbor laughed. "You know how they are." Another neighbor, an older man working on his car, barely glanced up as he said, "They're just having fun. You got a nice pool, Miss Williams." People notice. Something about the way he said it didn't sit right with her. But she didn't argue. Instead, she tightened the lock on her gate and hoped it wouldn't happen again. It did. A week later, she was sitting in her living room when she heard splashing. At first, she thought maybe she'd left the pool filter running. But then laughter. She walked to the back door, peeking outside. And there they were, a teenage boy swimming like he owned the place, while a girl, probably his sister, sat at the edge, dipping her feet in. Tasha flung the door open. "Excuse me?" The kids froze. The boy scrambled out of the water, like a fish caught in a net. I thought," he stammered. "We didn't think you'd mind." "You didn't think to ask?" Tasha snapped. "Who even are you?" The girl mumbled something about living 2 houses down before they bolted out the gate. Tasha stood there, a wet towel in hand, her heart pounding. She wanted to let it go. But then came the excuses. The next day, she confronted the kids' parents, expecting an apology. Instead, an argument. "Oh, come on," the mother scoffed. "They're just kids. It's hot. What's the big deal?" Tasha stared at her, stunned. "The big deal," she said slowly, "is that this is my property, my home, my pool, and I don't remember handing out invitations." The father crossed his arms. "You're being dramatic." Dramatic. That word. The one people love to throw around when they aren't the ones being disrespected. Tasha bit back what she really wanted to say. Instead, she installed security cameras. Maybe that would send a message. It didn't. For 2 weeks, it worked. No footprints, no wet towels, no uninvited swimmers. She thought maybe, just maybe, she'd made her point. Then, one scorching Saturday, she pulled into her driveway and immediately knew something was wrong. Her side gate, the one she always kept locked, was slightly open. A bad feeling crept up her spine as she walked around back. And then there it was. Her yard? Packed. Not just kids, grown adults. Lounge chairs taken, beer bottles on the ground, a folding table set up with snacks. And the pool? Full. Women wading waist-deep, chatting like it was their own backyard. A man leaning against the pool ledge, sipping a drink with a smug grin. For a second, Tasha thought she was losing it. Was this real? Then, she locked eyes with a neighbor, Sandra. Sandra, who had never spoken to Tasha before, waved casually. "Hey girl. Hope you don't mind," she called out. "It was so hot today, we figured we'd cool off." Tasha's jaw tightened. Oh. She minded. Her voice came out sharp and steady.
Every
Single one of you.
get out.
Some people froze. Others exchanged looks, like she was the one overreacting. Sandra scoffed. Oh, don't be like that. It's just a pool. You weren't even home. Tasha stepped forward, anger bubbling just beneath the surface. It's not just a pool. It's my pool. My house. My yard. You don't live here. You don't pay for this.
Get out.
Someone muttered. Geez, what's her problem? That did it. Tasha stormed to the pool equipment box, grabbed the remote, and shut off the filter.
Then
She yanked the power cord to the speakers. Silence. I'm calling the police. Now that got them moving. Drinks were snatched, towels wrapped up, and within minutes, her yard was empty. Sandra had the audacity to roll her eyes on the way out. You don't have to be so uptight, she muttered. Nobody was hurting anything. Tasha wanted to scream. Instead, she stood stone-faced as they shuffled out. She slammed the gate, locked it, and stood there, hands on her hips, fuming. But one thing was clear, this wasn't over. So, she got creative. Heavy-duty locks. A pool chemical that would turn bright green if anyone peed in it. And the best part? A fake warning sign. Warning, pool chemically treated for unauthorized use warning. Exposure may cause rash, severe itching, or temporary skin discoloration. Was it true?
nope.
But they didn't know that. And guess what? It worked. The freeloading days were over. Tasha had finally reclaimed her peace. No more strangers in her yard. No more entitled attitudes. And the best part? She never even had to call the cops. Because, at the end of the day, people will take as much as you let them. It doesn't matter if it's your time, your space, your energy, or even your damn pool. If you don't set boundaries, someone will walk all over you. So, was Tasha petty? Maybe. Was she wrong? Not even a little. What about you? Have you ever had to stand your ground when people try to take advantage of you? Or better yet, how would you have handled this? Drop a comment below, let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more.